Hi, I have in front of me a 4-channel analog DVR. So basically this is a digital video recorder, but it supports up to 4 analog cameras. It's available with free delivery from freetv.ie, and it can support picture resolution up to D1, which is a reasonable picture quality on it. If we were to classify this inside our overall range of DVRs, we'd say that it's an entry level but very reliable and has quite a number of features on it, but it's at a very attractive price point, free delivery, and so we think there's definitely a market for it. It can support an internal hard drive, so we can fit it internally on it. So the format of the video here is, I'll give a quick overview of exactly what comes in the outer box, which you can see here. We'll look at the menu structure on it here, and then we'll just talk about the DVR itself in a little bit more detail. There is later video in the series, in particular covering the whole topic of an app that's available with this, so that is quite useful. So what we'll do here is the outer box that it comes in here, you can see it here. We have a user manual in English. We have both the SATA cable and the 4 screws that we use for mounting an internal hard drive. We have a we have a remote control here, a mouse, and also a mini CD that has a software on it, and we have a power unit here which is 12 volts, 2 amps. We come along then and we have the main DVR here itself, which you can see. Now at this point what I'll actually do is I'll just come along and I'll show the interface on the DVR itself, and this will probably be useful to see at this point. So the first thing to do is we'll just bring up the menu. I'll bring it up in the center here, you can see it. We'll click for main menu, and the first time we use it, it'll ask us for the password, and it's simply, the username is by default, it's admin, and the default password on it is admin as well. So we can just press enter, okay, and in we go. So if you turn it on for the first time with no hard drive installed, you may need to just immediately go into advanced, go into the hard drive and come along and click on alarm release, because you can have the default setting there that if there's no alarm inside, or if there's no hard drive inside, it'll trigger an alarm, because obviously normally with DVRs you are doing a recording. If we come along here and we look at the search functionality that we have here, we'll say it's just for searching out recordings, okay, and that would have on the hard drive. There's an information here, there's a settings one here, and we have just the general settings here in terms of setting the date, but also say we have the network settings for setting it up in terms of the IP address and the remote viewing. We have a lot of videos in our series, reasonably generic actually, most of them, covering the different DVRs for remote viewing, etc. And we have a specific video for this DVR that covers the whole downloading of the app. We have a detect here as well. So we can come along and we have the different settings here for motion detection, etc. PTZ, display, and then some default settings there. So if we come back out from here, we can see here we have the advanced settings, and we have the backups here. So we can come along actually and back up certain recordings, etc. If there's a particular instance we need to put back over onto a USB stick. Now if we come along and we look at the DVR itself, we'll see we have 3 light indicators on the front. We have an alarm setting. We have a net setting to say if it's getting connection onto the net and is our hard drive being detected. And also then we have an IR sensor, we have escape and a function button here as well for bringing up the menus. And then we have the enter button, arrow left and right, up and down, and just an on-off button. And then there's a USB port here, which is normally used for connecting our mouse directly onto. And if I rotate this unit around now, we'll just look at the back here and we'll see that in terms of inputs, we have 4 video inputs and a single audio input on it. Normally people aren't using audio on the DVR, so to have it there, one would probably be sufficient for almost all uses. In terms of output, when we're taking out, we'll normally use the VGA here and run it directly to a monitor, but we could come along and take a B&C output and convert it over to a SCART, for instance, running directly into a TV. And we have a USB here, which we normally use for extracting recordings, something like that. We have a network set up here, and we've an AB connections here as well, just if we're wiring in external sensors and things like that. And what we have here finally is just the actual power unit will be connected in here, the 12 volt power unit, and the switch here that's on off, okay? So what we'll do at that point is, I'll just go back to there. So just in summary again, this is an entry level 4 camera DVR. It's reliable, it comes at a very, very attractive price point, and it's available with free delivery directly from freetv.ie.